Oh, do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? We have made it to 2025. First and foremost, to all of you that make us a part of your day, that allow us to do this every single day. Thank you and Happy New Year. This is Driving the Line. We are live every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also find us on all of these stadium apps, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on every single weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a special day. It is college football playoff day, and we've got a kid that said, I'm going to work New Year's Day. So just like you guys are here, hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Really helps the show grow. Shout out to Cody, a super sticker right out of the gate here in 2025. Now, how did we do yesterday? As Penn State covered late to beat Boise State. Well, as I like to say, kind of a ho-hum day as far as picks were concerned. For all of you who are new, we have one motto here at DTL. We just want to win more than we have a ton of content across all of our platforms. Hit that notification button. Subscribe to your friends and family. You also get a fresh podcast every single weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Premium members. Audio around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I saw this man last night with a dog, and he's my dog all the time. Happy New Year, sir. My Allen Bell 5-tool player. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Yep, hanging with a dog there watching football. It was nice. And I want to give a shout-out in the chat. You're going to see a guy named Dominic Sanchez. Grew up with this man. All right, Wisconsin born and bred. Love this dude. He is the epitome of everything great. So, Dominic, what's up, bro?
What up, Dominic? Welcome to DTL, big boy. By the way, our resident benefactor, we need to say Happy New Year to him. Roberto Bibbo, he says, I need to hear some New Year's resolutions. Well, Robert, you are in luck today. It is Rant Wednesday. AB, just because it's New Year's doesn't mean the rants don't continue. And we have a very New Year's resolution-y themed Rant Wednesday for everybody. So they'll get there, Phil. Are you ready with your? I know you always come strong with your rant on a Wednesday.
I'm ready. And you know what? This one is going to be beneficial to everyone, I think.
Okay. Very, very good. All right. We've got a lot to get to, but as always, we always remember our good friend Howie, true play of the day. The selections today, AB, are what?
Well, we got a little thing called college football playoff today, and I think people are going to enjoy this one here. So we got 3 games, but we're going to choose from 4 options. You're going to go Ohio State minus 2.5. You're going to go Oregon plus 2.5. You're going to go Notre Dame plus 1, or you're going to go Georgia minus 1. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show. All
right, and we do have some issues we'll talk about in just 1 second with that Notre Dame-Georgia game. It's playing tonight in New Orleans. Not a good night last night in a second. But without further ado, we have the best crew in the business. So on behalf of AB, on behalf of Producer Man, and behalf of myself, let's get this new year started. It is time. It is time for the first time in 2025 for the picks. I say it all the time. It's an embarrassment of riches when I have these faces on the screen. Now, very quickly, because we say it all the time, we will tackle the good and the bad here in the universe. And we got to start with something that just sucks. But, Raphael, I'm going to go right to you. Happy New Year first and foremost. But you live down there in the area of the Big Easy. Last night, 10 people at least killed by an idiot who ran him down on Bourbon Street. It could be more. It's the site of the Sugar Bowl tonight, just a few blocks away. What are you hearing there locally? You're on mute, Raphael. Sorry, bud.
Sorry, I was actually texting him before and I didn't want to mute, but actually hearing right now that they're going to sweep probably the arena right now just to be safe, and then they'll probably make the decision. The police are saying they're going to play the game. FBI and Homeland just texted, said they're going to wait till after the sweep is done and then make the announcement. They will play this game. I've been in so many different areas. I mean, even the shooting in Las Vegas, they shut down every show during the shooting in Las Vegas. So if you're on the strip and you had tickets for a show, you weren't going to that. So I just think we're being cautious, sweep the arena, and then make the decision.
All right, very, very good. We'll, of course, we'll be putting it out on our social medias, try to help as much as we can in a horrible situation. But that in a bad situation, sometimes laughing and having a good time is so that's exactly what we're going to do this morning. And then I come to our resident curmudgeon. He's the only 5-star chef in the game. Happy New Year to our Chris Bassett. Good morning, sir.
Happy New Year, Coach. Happy New Year, crew. Yeah, ready to get off to a hot start this year. We're gonna hit some winners today, Coach. I got winners lined up. That's me being not curmudgeon.
What's crazy is like you literally froze on my screen for about 5 seconds. Maybe that's the New Year God saying Coach isn't gonna hear his curmudgeonness today. Can't wait to hear your rant though. Can't wait to hear your rant. Now, this man wasn't even a part of the fam when we started last January, but he's a big part of the fam now. You can also catch him on BTT live from the Northeast. Big Tommy C. Tommy Carlucci. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, fellas. What's going on? 2025 is here, and I'm ready to rock and roll here this year, buddy.
You're damn right. Yeah,
I
want to hear it. You're with me this year?
I'm with you, buddy. We're going all the way.
Part of the crew. We're going all the way. All right, we got a lot of picks to get to today. We got 3 big college football playoff games. We'll talk about that in 30 minutes. We got Rant Wednesday but we got picks right now. So, AB, I need you to give me out the first picks of 2025, and I know you are neck deep in this playoff. Let's go.
Let's go, Coach. All right, first off, we'll start off a little parlay here, okay? We're going to go Texas money line, and we're going to go Georgia team total over 2.5 touchdowns. Get that at plus 125. Texas, I don't mind taking them with the spread, to be completely honest with you. But if we don't have to, we don't have to. And I think Georgia will score tonight. Notre Dame, I think they'll score tonight too. So let's pair those two together. Next, Ohio State, Oregon. First quarter, both teams to score, plus 100. It's a long first quarter. This ain't the NFL. You get commercial breaks all over the place. And if anybody's ever worked in television knows, these are the most valuable commercial spots in the entire game because you don't know what's going to happen, but you do in the first quarter that it's going to go to plan and everybody's going to be watching. So they get to these commercials, i.e. you get time to get points on the board. So we're going to take those two first quarter, both teams to score. Next, let's stay in that game, and we're going to go Oregon second half team total over 13.5 points. If Ohio State's putting it on them, Oregon will put up points. All right, if Oregon's up, Oregon will put up points, and I want to get that number under 14. So we're going to take it over 13.5, and then finally, same as we did at top with Georgia over 2.5 touchdowns, we're going to play Notre Dame over 2.5 touchdowns at minus 105.
I absolutely love it. And I like the really smart play of Oregon in the second half. Historically, they've always been a team, they kind of take a little bit to get going, but when they get going, it's like playing downhill in that second half. Love that. Love that. More on that game, of course, coming up in about 24 minutes from right now. All right, Raphael, you're our numbers guy for a reason. Nobody dives in deeper than you. You also have 3 big plays today. Talk to me.
Yeah, we're going to Notre Dame team total over 21.5, laying the 3 nickels. Posted this game up yesterday when I sent it, and then the under money came in after I was writing my stuff down on the email. I could not believe it. This one actually went down all the way to 45, and I almost wanted to text AB and see if I can get an allowance because I wanted to bet the over again at 45. But then now it's creeping back up to 45.5. I think what the books did, they moved the juice to minus 105 on the 46, and then people started betting the under because they got minus 105. I think it will creep back up, so I'm going to take Notre Dame 21.5 right now. They've hit this number 12 out of 13 games this year, and this ain't the same Georgia defense we've seen in past. I think Notre Dame will be able to put some points on the board, so give me that over. And then we're going to go to NBA. Probably one of the biggest guys that's probably going to be gone during the trade deadline, Zach LaVine, but I like him tonight. 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists because he's playing the Wizards, and the total's probably the weight I used to weigh at 240. So we're going to see tons of points scored tonight. I think Zach LaVine has a really good game. Last road game he played, he put up 49 points against the Hawks. I think the Hawks and Wizards play the same type of defense. No defense, so I like that play. And then we're going to go to college hoops. North Carolina, Louisville. Can't wait to watch this game. Yes, there's college basketball, not just college football today. I can't wait to watch this game. Give me the under 164.5. If Louisville wants to hang around this game, they need to be defense, zone defense, because North Carolina cannot hit the 3 ball. We've seen it in games past. That's why they're not the same team. I think this one flies under the total.
I can't wait for us to really get into college basketball or after the first of the year here, because just like NBA, it gets lost in November and December. Raphael, thank you very much. And once again, Happy New Year. All right, Seabass, you're giving me a straight play, and then I'm getting a little New Year's rebound parlay. I'm here for it. Let's go.
That's right, Coach. We're going to get some plus money in here today. We're going to do a rebound parlay Kyrie Irving and Zach LaVine both to get 4+ rebounds. Kyrie Irving's done this in 3 of his last 5 games, so a little bit tough there, but Houston's the 7th worst rebounding team or allowing rebounds to point guards in the league. And then Zach LaVine playing the terrible Washington Wizards. He's done this in 8 of his last 10 games, and Washington is 5th worst versus his positions. Staying in that same game with the Bulls and Wizards, Bilal Coulibaly, at least we're going to take him over 3.5 assists today. This line really should be 5. He's hit 5 in 9 of his last 10 games. I don't understand why it's so low, but we got a good price here. So Bilal Coulibaly to go over 3.5 assists today.
Letting that resonate. I feel like you are very powerful with your rebounds parlay. I didn't see it. I'll be honest with you. But a good rebound parlay, Raphael tells us all the time, is what you get your new year started off right with. Thank you, Bass. Now.
Okay, fine.
All right. Until the very end. He's becoming a next level capper. Next level capper. I mean, man. Tommy, are you ruining my flow when I'm trying to give you this big time introduction? All right. He is all over the college football playoff. He said, Coach, it's Oregon or nobody. I said, all right, you give it out on the show tomorrow. 3 big plays. You're up, Tommy.
I'm taking Oregon and the money line plus 115. I can't figure out how a number 1 team is underdog in this game. I know who they're playing and everything, but God, when you're number 1 and you're the dog, that's a big deal, man. And I'm also taking Notre Dame, Georgia. I'm taking the over. And in the last 4 games that Notre Dame has played on a neutral field, they have gone over the total points. Also, I'm taking Ohio State and Oregon. I know I'm in the minority here. I'm taking the under. I think it's going to be a shootout. They need to shut down that freshman N and Jeremiah Smith. So I think it'll be a shootout, but I think it's going to be under in this game.
Tommy, I told you for 25 years, being Italian is not being the minority. You got to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get that joke? I think maybe I'm blinking. Am I the only one? Of
You're
course,
freezing.
it's me on brand,
Yeah,
AB.
yeah, you froze.
You froze.
All right. We're gonna get at the break. I'm gonna get out. AB, you'll take it through the break because for some reason, of course, Cox would mess with me on the first day of the new year of 2025. It wouldn't be on brand if we didn't have issues with our Wi-Fi with somebody. Of course, it had to be me. Continue to hit that like button on the way in. Let us know what you guys are going to play tonight in the 3 college football games. That's it. There is college basketball, but today it's all about those 3. So, AB, would you rather play the first game today, or would you rather play the late game tonight that Notre Dame and Georgia get?
I'd rather play the first game, all right? Because remember, both of these teams, you're sitting in a hotel, your room, and then a ballroom all day long until you go to the stadium, all right? I'd rather get in, play the game, and get out. The longer that you sit, it's just not good, all right? Nothing good's going to happen. I want to get in, stretch, feel good, and go whip somebody's ass. That's what I want to do. I don't want to wait around all day. So, yeah, give me the first one.
And that is the biggest spread of the entire day. Is that 13 right now? Kings is holding steady there. Ohio State's now got a 2.5, and Notre Dame is a 1-point favorite over Georgia. The Bulldogs coming in with a backup quarterback tonight. We'll delve way more into the college football playoff coming up in about 20 minutes. But coming up next, you know what day it is. It is Rant Wednesday, and today it's all about New Year's resolutions. What are yours? Put them into the chat. Let me read a few here live on the show. We've got ours. They're coming up next. Also, something Arizona State did late last night that maybe pumps up their team. We'll talk about it. It's DTL. This is the only place you need to be every single day. It's a Wednesday, and it's a vibe. AB, Arizona State, new contract for their head coach. Take it. I'm going to drop out. I'll be right back, big boy.
Yep. So, how do we feel about this? All right. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. All right. We've got here Arizona State. All right. They've picked last, all right, in the Big 12 before the season started. How do we feel about it? Like, is this just Cameron Scatterbo team, running back? That's it? Or is this guy for real? Raphael, I'll start with you.
I think he's for real, but this defense, I think when we watch this game is going to be for real. We're all going to be looking at their offense and what we saw Arizona State do in their last game. But their defense all season long has been impressive. Their defense is the reason why they weren't supposed to be – well, they were picked last to be in the conference, and their defense pulled them out, and now they're here playing on January 1st. So everyone's going to watch their offense. I'm going to watch their defense. I love the speed on the linebackers.
Tommy, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I agree, man. Defense brought them through, and now they're playing on January 1st, so you got to believe in them, right?
You think so? I mean, look, if you're here, you're here. You know what I mean? Like, there's no arguing.
January 1st, yep.
Yeah, exactly. Seabass, your thoughts here?
Coach definitely deserves it. I mean, anytime you're picked to finish dead last and you end up winning the division, I mean, there's something to be said for that. Are they – they're the team that's there. They're there. They're playing the SEC, Raphael. I tried not to say
I was waiting for it.
It's Texas. It's Texas. I mean, it's not real SEC, but we'll take it.
I wish you guys could see the text message chain that we have. Every single time an SEC team gets a tail whoop, Raphael's like, it just means more. Now, here's the problem. My team was one of those that got bit, so I was waiting on it, and I was like, send it. You're good. You're good. You've earned it 100%. Now, all right, I think we've got Coach back, but real quick, the thoughts on, and we can cover it on the other side. I love Arizona State's running back starting the press conference off with, none of you can stop me. Coach,
all-time classic.
That's hilarious. It sounds like somebody on the crew. You can't stop me. Can't do nothing to me. Hey, we're starting Rant Wednesday early. You don't believe how many curse words I just let out just on my Wi-Fi. All right, but we are back, and we are back in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are weekday. It is DTL. It is YouTube. It is Stadium apps. We are everywhere. We are growing in 2025. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on anything. Week we're adding something as the football season starts to wind down. All right, producer man, I need my 5, please, because this is a very special day every single week. Because when you're in the world of sports betting, you can get frustrated very, very easily. But my guys have different interests. It doesn't always have to be on sports. It can be on anything. And we bring it to the table right here and right now. Today, kind of a being told I look very fuzzy. We're gonna soldier through. Today's a very New Year's resolution theme. So, AB, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Coach. All right, look, New Year's resolutions. People talk about them. They say, oh, I'm not doing it. No, they're important. They're good. But you have to understand what they are, all right? Having a goal of, I would have lived prosperous. Well, that's not a goal, okay? Like, we have to have steps in regards to getting this, and that's the important part. And make your steps simple, attainable, achievable, okay? Last year, I had one for this brand, and it was literally start the brand, right? That was it. That was step 1. Next one, get 1 show up. That's it. The next one, get 1 subscriber, right? Like, very attainable goals. So if you are somebody who likes to set resolutions, set goals. Do it simple, do them attainable and achievable, and watch. After you hit 1 and cross it off, check it off your list, dude, you will be a million times ahead of everyone else. So resolutions, no, those aren't real. Do goals and make them achievable. And I promise everything you want right there on that paper, you'll get it. Work hard. You got it.
I like that. Little motivational Rant Wednesday this morning. All right, up next, Raphael, let's go.
So, people, we're all called degenerates, but I need everyone to go in their Google search after the show, because we're watching the show live, and type in the Safe Bet Act. The Safe Bet Act could ruin a lot of people's days if this thing gets passed. And a lot of the thing about coming in about sports gambling, you might not be able to use a credit card anymore. So when you open up your app for ESPN Bet DraftKings, you can't put a credit card deposit. That's in that list. You can only be limited a certain amount of deposits and withdrawals. That is also on that list. There might be a list that would have to check your background and checking accounts and bank accounts to see if you have money to even place bets. That's also on that list. Yes, we have legalized betting here in the United States. Can't wait. Loved it. Still love it again. But they made this for us to bet here in the States. With all these new rules that they're going to put on us in 2025, if this bill gets passed, it's going to push everyone back to their neighborhood bookie and back to offshore gaming. What are you doing, U.S. government? Leave it alone. You can tweak it, but just leave it alone.
All right. Well, so far not our best Rant Wednesday, but I see where you're going with that, Raphael. By the way, we're starting to GoFundMe second Gigablast to help with my Wi-Fi. I have the highest Wi-Fi that you can freaking have. I didn't know that was going to be a thing. All right, Seabass, as you move on my screen, you are up next, sir. What's your rant today?
So, Coach, I had something lined up. I was going to talk about being less of a curmudgeon and things, but I got home from work last night. Before midnight, I was able to kiss the baby and the wife for Happy New Year, so that was great. But this damn garbage man, I'm back on the garbage man, Coach. He was good for a minute. Now, the recycling guy, they come on the same day, the recycling and the trash. The recycling guy, he's great. Leaves it right in the same place, closes the lid. Well, last night, we got thunderstorms in the area, lot of rain. I get home, trash can in the middle of the driveway, the lid is open. There's 1.5 foot of water in the bottom of the trash can. It's going to stink. It's going to smell. I thought about dumping it out, but I'm going to stick it to the trash man this year. I'm going to leave that water in there. It's going to sit in my garage all week with the trash that I put in there, and he's going to have to go pick that up next week, and he's going to go and he's going to try and get it, and it's going to be full of water and nasty trash, and I hope he gets that garbage juice all over him. Just close the lid, man. Close the lid. Put it back where you found it.
Robbie says, Seabass is my spirit.
I'm that. You're right. I got it. But
I thought you were going to try to be positive, Bass. I
was, Coach. I was going to be, and then it just wouldn't. It wasn't.
You had to be you. You had to be you. You had to be you.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
You're damn right. Now, Tommy Carlos, you said, Coach, whatever you do, let me go last. All right. What do you got today? What are you ranting on?
All right, Coach. Mine's a little lighthearted, and I've been in TV production over 30 years, and my resolution is I'm going to be less critical of what I watch on television, right? And I'm really critical. Oh, that was a bad edit, or this didn't work. I'm watching Prime Amazon the other night, right? And I watched an old-time horror movie, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Now, producer man, can you please put up this? Do you see this picture right here? All right. Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein made Frankenstein, and he's wearing a sports coat. I mean, are you kidding me? You don't make a monster and put a sports coat. Is he going to Seabass's restaurant? I have no idea. Is he going to a wine tasting thing? Is he going to Rayo's? You put a sports jacket on a monster? The prerequisite for a monster is Michael Myers and the one-piece jumpsuit. This man has a sports coat on. These are the little things that drive me crazy in TV production. So this year, I'm going to be a little less critical, and you don't put a sports jacket on a monster.
Brian says, quality viewing. Quality viewing. I'm going to follow your lead because I do the exact same thing, and I do it from a talent perspective. So I'm going to follow your lead because it does drive us insane. So you know what? It's not, if it doesn't affect our lives, we're going to be positive about it, unless it's AW. All right, now. Mine is very Seabass inspired and my mother inspired. I always believe that you should be positive. I always feel like no matter what happens, you can give me the energy that I'm giving to you. This week in the hotel, the man cooking the breakfast. If you ever stayed at Embassy Suites, you know what I'm talking about. You get in line for the fresh stuff or you get in line for the other stuff. He's wearing a Chiefs hat. How can you not be a happy Chiefs fan? My mother holding her $2 because she always puts $2 into the guy cooking the breakfast. And she says, can I have a potato bowl? He turns around and goes, yes. And he stares back at us. I said, start making the potato bowl. And he goes, you got to tell me what's going to be in it, to my little old 79-year-old mother. And I turned to her. I said, he can't have a good attitude? You're going to tip him with a bad attitude? My mother looked at me and she said, you don't know what's going on in his life right now. I said, I know that we're going on in his life right now. And he can't smile? 15-1? And you can't give me something for this $2 that this beautiful little old lady is going to give you in 30 seconds for a potato bowl? But alas, that's not going to be who I am in 2025. So I still allowed her to tip the $2. And the next day, I took $2. The third day, we both took $2. So hopefully he can take those $6 and smile when he's helping somebody else with a potato bowl. Now, I left that up to the crew, my family crew. on what we would tackle with that situation. But AB, we've got another big one, a big one. Big, and it's all the Dan Campbell can do to inspire weeks 18, I guess it would be. So the coach is allowing the team to decide if Saquon Barkley plays to try. And question is this, AB, why would they not keep him in the game a week ago if they were going to try to break this record? He didn't play in the last quarter and a half. So what would you do?
Well, first off, I'm not putting it up to everyone else's decision because what the hell's the team going to do, right? Like, hey, Seabass, should we have a show today? Like, why would I make him, like, decide? You know what I mean? Like, dude, decide it. Are you going to play or not going to play? I'm going to put you in the lineup until you tell me you don't want to play. And I guarantee you Saquon's going to want to play because this is a record that hasn't been broken in 40 years. Go for it. You'll never have an opportunity in your life to ever have that chance again. Yeah, I'm not putting it up for a group of 90 people to decide.
I think we've really gotten to the point where it's the automatic. If you have nothing to play for, don't play. Don't risk injury. And I saw several videos yesterday, Seabass, that said you can only sit 7 guys anyway. We talk about having – it's not a college team. They don't have 90 guys on the sideline. They have 7 that they can sit. So this whole sitting for Saquon's different. What would you do, Seabass?
I saw a clip a couple weeks ago about Saquon in a game. He was sitting in the fourth quarter, and he was 13 yards away from his season high record for a season high in a game. And he told the coach, "Look, let the other guys eat." I love that in a player. I don't know that the record for Saquon is that important. Maybe it is. I don't know the guy, but I think winning a Super Bowl probably would trump that. We get into we're at 17 games in a season now, and I know Eric Dickerson broke OJ's record in 16 versus 14. I don't know that it is that important for me. I just say, you want to play or not? And it's that simple. Do you want to play or do you not? What do you want to do? And whatever he says, I'm good with.
It's that whole question of championship over record. And I think Raphael, for the offensive line, for Saquon, I bet Saquon would prefer not to play. He's a very humble guy. There's a couple games this year they were blowing teams out. They asked him to go in to break some, and he goes, "No, I don't want to do it." I bet Saquon says no. What about you?
Yeah, I believe he says no. We have no as the favorite, I think, at -$2 when I opened it up 2 days ago. And it's because if he plays, that means all offensive linemen has to play. That means the wide receivers are going to have to play and all that. That's just the trickle-down effect. And if I was him, I'm like, I want a ring. I want a ship. I don't want a record. A record means a record's going to be broken, but my Super Bowl ring is always going to be on me or always going to be in my safe. I'd rather do that.
Tommy, you eat, breathe, sleep the New York Giants. This was your guy.
Yep.
And a lot of the times he was hurt. And a Saquon former fan, what would you do?
I think Saquon's not going to play. He's a very humble guy. But, hey, in my world, in the Giant world, just to stick it to the Giants, I would love to see him play and go over the yardage and break the record. But I don't think he will. You risk too much of injury, like Raphael was saying, with the offensive line, him getting hurt. I mean, he gets hurt in this game, they are done. They are not moving anywhere in the playoffs. He is that whole offense with him and Brown, and you just need a stupid injury like that to put you out when you're so close to getting to the Super Bowl. I think he's humble enough to say, I'm not going to play.
I think that will ultimately be the consensus because I do agree that everybody needs to play. I agree with what the Lions did last week in San Francisco. But when you have certain players that are so pivotal to turning the corner in something you've never been able to sit him, and I would never say that about a lot of guys, but this Philadelphia team, they've been snitting last year. They fell off a cliff. You cannot allow that to happen with a player that has literally changed your franchise in less than a year. So I think he sits because it's his decision. Maybe I would not ask the rest of the team. Of course they're going to say, play him, coach, play him. Let's go. Run through the ball. It's not going to happen. All right, still to come. We got 3 big games today, and my guys breaking it down. Have the lines moved? Are they going to move? And who's going to advance? State did last night, covering in the final minutes of that game, and now the winner is waiting for Notre Dame and Georgia. Playoffs, other side, huge lies number. It's a vibe. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page, and real quick, there's a lot of talk about movements around, and the NFL. And I know we already talked about the Arizona State coaching thing, but there's a lot of talk about Deion and all these types of things. Do you think, AB, as we get through now with the few ball games still to go, that we're going to see some surprises? Do you think Deion lives up to what he said just 2 days ago, stays at Colorado? Because that's a big one right now.
He stays at Colorado if no NFL team will take him, right? And I don't know. I think the Raiders, look, let me just say this. If you see that the Raiders get rid, all right, of Pierce, Deion's going to the Raiders. If you see that next week, Deion's going to the Raiders. And that means that the Raiders are drafting his son. Just go ahead and put that out there. If they don't, I think that's the only team. I don't think Dallas would hire Deion, at least right now. It just doesn't fit. But if you see the Raiders fire Pierce, Colorado, start looking. Get that LinkedIn ready to go.
I can't wait to see that press conference, Raphael, if he does leave, because he's told everybody, I'm going anywhere. I'm building this thing up. And they also talked about rumors that are out there by pundits. They've already said no to certain teams drafting because it's all a lie. We know it's not all a lie. What do you think the future of Deion truly is, Raphael?
He's going to be in Colorado next year. I don't think he goes. Even if the Raiders' job is open, I think he stays. He's already had some really good people coming into this program for transfer portals. He's really had some nice people committed to go to Colorado. Why would you tell them, hey, come, I'll take you out of the transfer portal. But, hey, the Raider job's open. I'm out of deuces. I just don't see that happen. I think he stays 1-2 more years. I think he really likes the college life. I think he's with the kids and all that. I don't see him. Why would you go to the Raiders? Gruden hated being at the Raiders. The Raiders are an awful organization.
I guess it bends. Seabass, 10 seconds for you.
Any other coach, I would say that guy's full of crap. I don't believe a word coming out of his mouth. But for Deion, I think he stays. I think he's a man of his word. He keeps it tight. Why would he not say how he feels? He's Deion Sanders.
They got the number one quarterback in the portal from Liberty, and they also got the number one high school quarterback who was supposed to go to USC, and now he's going to Colorado. All right, we are back in 5. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We of the hour here on DTL. There's a lot of new people. How do I know? Because our live numbers are ridiculous. So to all of those who are new that are trying out our brand for the first time, welcome. We want you here every single day. The chat is always popping if you choose to watch on our YouTube channel, or you can watch on all the Stadium apps on DirecTV, on Amazon Prime, on Roku TV, on YouTube TV. We are everywhere every single weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern time there as well. I'm your host, the coach, and I got the best damn 8 to 10 deep. You never know who you're going to see every single day here in the universe. Now, as I bring my guys back in, a shout out to our resident benefactor, Roberto Bibbo. AB, he saw that we have some non-members in the chat, new people checking us out. And what does he do? He does what he always does. 5 premium memberships, but you got to be watching. Explain that, AB.
Absolutely. So our man, Robert, is always taking care of it. 5 memberships to brand new people that come in. You'll see it, and if you're not a member, all right, you might win it, but you have to turn gifts on YouTube. You can see the little notification there on how to do it. Do it. And Robert, as always, dude, thank you, man. It's huge. We lose Coach?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, we lost Coach. All right.
That's one hell of a stare.
Yep. I thought he was mad at me.
No. Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was mad at me.
This is a rib. This is an absolute rib. You know what? I told you, I'm a new guy. Nothing's going to bother me. It doesn't matter because we're all here together and we all get to experience the pain. So let's go to game number 1. And this is the biggest spread, AB. This is Texas, and it just moved as I'm looking at DraftKings Live. 13.5, and the total at 50. My gut tells me that I want to go with Arizona State. They've got the bravado. They've got a quarterback who said, hey, I'm going out there on Wednesday to show the entire world that I'm the best quarterback in the game. Not that he said the best QB in the game. Take me off of Arizona State, please.
Yeah, we heard the same thing from Boise State. How'd that work out last night, right? They didn't do a damn thing. They couldn't run the ball at all right now. Look, I'm not saying that Boise State and Arizona State are the same team, but that running back right there, Scatterbo number 4, I like you, buddy. You got everyone's attention, all right? You got everyone in Texas's attention, especially that defensive line. Go ahead, run up the A-gap. Go find out. They're all 330 plus, all going to the league. All right. Look, every single game we've had in the college football playoff now, every single one of them has been won by the favorite, all right, covered, and won by double digits. All 5 of them. So why would you go any other route?
I know. I didn't really mean you need to talk me off Arizona State. I mean, I was just being facetious. But now you've talked me off of Arizona State. Raphael, let me come over to you, because to me, the pivotal number here is if it gets to 4, or if I decide to buy a half a point or a full point to take it up to 14.5. I might minus 140 or minus 150. But Arizona State, they're doing everything they can to motivate their squad, giving their head coach a big new contract on the eve of the game to inspire them enough to stay within the number.
This is one of those games I wish it was not the noon game or 1 o'clock game, because we could probably see a 14, and then that 14 will look really good on a Sun Devils ticket. But this one, if you want to bet Texas, I don't blame you, but you had 12.5 like 48 hours ago. Why are you waiting for now when the number's 13.5 are going to be 14? If the number's too high and you still want to bet Texas, wait for live betting. What if Arizona State kicks a field goal and they're up 3-0 right now? I guarantee you it's not going to be 13.5 if Arizona takes a 3-0 lead, or Arizona gets the ball first and they're moving really quickly and there's a quick commercial. Now you have to move the number because Arizona State could be scoring first. Wait, because the number is gone that you wish you would have had, 12.5.
And also from a prop perspective, because a lot of time in college football, we wait and we don't have the ability to bet props, but in the playoffs we can. And I would be very hesitant, because I think yours today, Sarkisian, he's behind him, but yours has already said, how I play, I may go, I may not. Archie Manning's already said, I'm not going into the portal. So they have issues. And I believe this whole kumbaya comes to a head today if yours gets off to a slow start. So I'd be very hesitant to play any of his props today. What about you?
I'm assuming you called on me since no one else is talking. I didn't hear you. Bro, okay.
Seabass, yes.
So, yeah. College props, man. I have a hard time betting on the kids. Game totals and spreads, I'm okay with, but props, I wouldn't touch yours props at all. And on the flip side, I wouldn't touch anything Manning wise either. I just think there's too much going on. The running back for Arizona State, I'm not touching him. I mean, I love the press conference. I love the confidence, but I'm just not sold on any of these. Plus, I can't get my SEC bias out of the way, so I'm on Texas all day.
Seabass wants to be a different guy. That ain't happening today. Let's flip over to the second game, because this is going to get the majority of the attention, Tommy. And this is Ohio State, Oregon. A rematch from the regular season. That was a 1-point game, 69 combined points in that game. Just got off of just kicking Tennessee's teeth in at home and looked like a completely different team. So I think the books have responded to that, making the number 2.5, total 55.5. Tommy, should we have recency bias a part of this? Should Oregon feel disrespected?
Absolutely. They're the number 1 team, right? You're the number 1 team and you're the underdog. And I get the part of that receiver. They got to shut down receiver. They got actually 2 really good receivers on Ohio State, but they got to shut Smith down today in order to be in this game at all. I would feel totally disrespected of being number 1 and I'm a 2.5-point dog. That would really piss me off. So I think they're going to come up. They're going to play hard today. I think it's going to be a close game. I actually took the under, so we'll see what happens here. But they have to shut down that wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith, man.
AB, what did you see against your Tennessee team that told you that maybe Ohio State's a different team than the team that only scored 10 against Michigan?
The big thing for them, look, Ohio State's a great team. All right, they've been that all year long. It's just been a weird year, especially with the coach. But I remember they almost beat Oregon already once.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon won this game by 3. Here's the biggest thing with this team, okay? Offensive line. If you can find Oregon team sacks, it's 1.5. Oregon's defensive line is going to come after Ohio State's quarterback, because that's how you shut this team down. You stop him from throwing. You want to stop the wide receiver? It's much easier to put the quarterback down than it is to go one-on-one with a wide receiver. Remember that. In Ohio State, that's their, I'm not going to say issue, but that's where the injuries are. The offensive line. Oregon, bringing that front, all right, bringing heat. That is where you're going to see it. Now, Ohio State win this game. I'm not saying they don't, but What I'm saying is the trenches is where this game will be won or lost. You don't think about it in this one. You think it's going to be high flying, which it will, but the trenches. All right, find that Oregon team sacks. I guarantee you they're coming.
And maybe a lot of that would feed into the under with maybe a first half,
Coach,
Raphael, is the play. Do we lose me again?
You're freezing a lot. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh, my God. AB, you take it. I'm going to start over, but you take the rest of the segment. I don't want to ruin it for everybody. It's all you, big boy.
You're good.
My
All right. So, yeah. All right. Tommy, I throw it over to you. Seabass. I'm sorry. I got caught up there. Okay. 2.5. Oregon, the underdog here. What do you see? Should we be respecting Oregon more? Where do you stand?
I think we should respect Oregon more, but then again, I hate Ohio State. This is a tough one. This is probably the most intriguing game on the slate for me today, just to watch, because I can't call it. The way that Ohio State played last week against Tennessee, I mean, they came out and they whooped their tail. And Oregon, had a week off. It's tough. But I agree with Tommy that as the number one seed, man, it's tough to put them as the underdog. I think it gives them some motivation as well. So I think the number is a good number.
Yeah. And look, Mark in the chat says it perfectly. All right. No offense, AB. Heard that about Tennessee D-Life. 100%. I'm not saying that Oregon's going to do it, right? What I'm saying, Tennessee didn't blitz one time, right? Like what I'm saying is that I think you're going to see Oregon go after it because that is going to be the game plan. It's much easier to try to put the quarterback down than to stop the wide receiver because dude's a beast and there's multiples, right? So I'm not saying it's going to happen. What I'm saying is that if I were a coach breaking this down, if I were Oregon, I would look at Tennessee and say, well, they didn't blitz one time, and look how that worked out. I think I'm going to blitz. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. I agree with you, though. Like, there's nothing against Ohio State. Like, them fools are beasts, man. Looking good, 100%. All right, Raphael, throw it over to you, man. Same question. What are your thoughts here on this game, spread, total, going into it? And let me also say this. The pressure's all on Oregon. It's not on Ohio State. All right, Oregon's the number one seed here. Ohio State got their pressure game was last week with all the hell that was going on around them, and they responded like studs. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think just Oregon in general just feels disrespected coming in, the number one team, and you're the dog, and this one will probably be 3 by kickoff. I feel more disrespected because this game right here has the least amount of betting action out of the 3 games being in Iowa. I can't believe Arizona State, Texas has more betting action than this one. I just think the betting public realized, wow, Ohio State looked really good. All the money came in Ohio State quickly. And I think all the Oregon people, there's money coming in. I think they're waiting to see, what can I get? Can I get +3? Can I get a better money line on the number one team? I think Oregon money's sitting there waiting, looking at the betting screen, see if they can get a better number. I think Oregon money will come in today, but every time I refresh my screen, it's just Ohio State money continues to come in because that's what the bettors saw last. They saw them beat up on Tennessee. Sorry, AB, but that's what they saw last. It's going to be a very interesting game.
No apologies necessary. I mean, it's true, right? Like, Ohio State is good. Like, that's the thing. And I think that, what you're just talking about in regards to bettors in seeing so much Ohio State money come in is that everyone was kind of nervous. Like, oh, they just lost to Michigan. Like, what are we going to get? And then everyone sees it collectively at the same time. Like, oh, yeah, this is Ohio State. Like, this is a good football team. You know what I mean? So, yeah, 100% on that. Coach, we got you back.
I don't even know if you have me back or not. Can anybody hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's the best you've looked.
Yeah.
yeah. That'll last about a minute. Down Notre Dame and Georgia on the other side. But we're here till the top of the hour. We have an unbelievable live number. So thank you, all of you who are tuning in. Normally it's not this chunky. It's all on me. But we're here every single day, and that's why we have a crew to pick me up. So on the other side, we also have something to talk about that makes a lot of sense. And all of you Swifties out there, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking to you. It's Rant Wednesday. And we're just getting started here in 2025. Do not forget a special podcast today. Breaking down all of the games. If you're a premium member, you get the video. We'll get it out as fast as we can with that starting as well. If you're not a premium member, you can listen to the audio wherever your favorite podcast. So we're getting through a Rant Wednesday. I'm your host, the Coach. Welcome. It is a Wednesday, and we're always having a good time, and we're always a vibe. Okay, all of you degenerates out there watching on our YouTube channel, AB, we've got an issue. Travis Kelce is leading the Pro Bowl voting, and I know it's a nonsense game now, but we know why he is leading by a lot. Should the Swifties decide Pro Bowl voting?
Well, look, I'm going to go back to the same thing with Nick Sirianni. That's what you get when you leave it up to everyone else making a decision. All right, somebody be a leader around here. You leave it up to. Here's the other thing too. It's just engagement for the NFL. Like, it all works. All right, they're going to the website to vote, going to the app to the vote. Like, the NFL always wins. They always win.
They always win. Seabass, I know this cannot make you happy. You're a traditionalist.
I've never liked fan voting, or for it to mean so much, but that's the world we live in. This is why LeBron James is always the leading vote getter for the All-Star game, because the fans. Look, it's great to have a fan component, but for it to count for so much is a little much. We're fans. We don't know what is best.
I don't know how many players still have those incentives, but they used to have Pro Bowl incentives in their contract. Can you imagine Tommy C leaving it up to a Swiftie to make an extra $100K?
Oh, it's just an absolute joke, Coach. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, Travis, he's not even the best tight end, by the way. If he was the best tight end, I'd say, yeah, Brock Bowers is the best tight end, guys. I hate to say that, but man, you got Taylor Swift fans voting in football. Are you kidding me? What are we coming to, guys? It drives me nuts. It's crazy.
Raphael, I got about 30 seconds for you.
I'm not talking negative about Swifties. Swifties keep on voting. I want nothing to do with them. They should have a Swiftie Pro Bowl jersey. I ain't talking negative about the Swifties.
Mark says, Coach flirting with starting a war with the SIFT for 2025. LOL. It's not that I hate them, because that's my squad. That's my team. But man, we're now almost moving into wifey territory. We're talking about bringing muffins and cakes, all that kind of stuff. When they get married, and it will happen, I promise you, very, very soon, just be ready for it. Just be ready for it. Oh, Travis Kelce, your world has changed. All right, still one more big game to talk about. It's DTL, and we're going through a glorious January 1st. We're back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. DTL on the first day of January 2025. I'm the coach. We're here every single weekday live at 10 a.m. You can also catch us on all the stadium apps at 3 p.m. Eastern every weekday as well. We have a primetime show before every primetime game, but realistically just Sunday night, and one Monday night game is left as far as night games are concerned. Now, we have one more game today. And AB, I'm going to start with you. I think this is the game getting a lot of the attention, even though Ohio State, Oregon is the middle game in the Rose Bowl. This is the one. New quarterback for Georgia. The old quarterback has said, I'm going to the NFL even though he's not ready. And then you've got Notre Dame that's been the hottest team of everybody, and they just roll through their first opponent. But Georgia's still the favorite. Should they be?
Well, I'll tell you why, a big reason why Georgia's the favorite, because they put this in the Sugar Bowl, which is drivable for Georgia fans, okay? So there's going to be a billion Georgia fans. This is going to be a home game for them, even though nothing against Notre Dame fans. They travel, but this is just down the street for them, right? Like, it is going to be red and black throughout. But here's the deal. I like the over, and we played it a week ago on this show at 44, and I still hold true because Notre Dame's troubles this year have been stopping mobile quarterbacks, all right? Georgia quarterback can run, all right? Notre Dame can line up and run right down your throat, all right? Georgia, yeah, you can stop that till you're not, and then there's nothing else you could do, all right? Good luck. So I like this game. I like points being scored in this game. They're going to go back and forth at each other. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I think we have the misconception, as AB just said, Raphael, that Georgia is this team that can shut people down, or that Notre Dame. They're not. They're not. And that Georgia, when they get in big games, they suffer. They don't. They've historically scored a lot of points. So I'm also leading to the over. But do you think either one of the numbers, Raphael, is going to change?
I think the total will creep back up. I think we'll see 46. I was actually thinking it was going to be 47 by kickoff, but I think we see 46. And I agree with 100% with ABC. We're going to see point score in this one. I walked around the French Quarter last night with the wife. Yes, I was walking around with the wife last night, and we saw a lot of Georgia fans. And I even asked them, "What do you think of the game?" And everyone told me we're a little bit worried about our defense. And it's what? Because this defense of Georgia is not the same defense we've seen in years past. So if Notre Dame can run the ball, or if Notre Dame can open up the field by running the ball, that means the tight ends are going to be wide open. The tight ends were wide open all day yesterday with Boise State. They just quit throwing to them in the third and fourth quarter. We could see points scoring in this game. This one's going to be the highest points game out of the 3 games played today.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, Seabass, that to get their SEC bias out of the way. Are you able to do that when you're talking about Georgia tonight? And do you think, because nobody watches more than you, that Georgia still should be the favorite? Because I do not touch in the spread, so I really don't care. I'm on the over. What about you, Seabass?
As a Gator fan, it's tough to root for Georgia. However, that being said, yes, they do have problems in their defense. I think they can stop the run. It's that pass defense I'm worried about. Notre Dame has shown that they can throw the ball a little bit as well, but I still like Georgia here. I like Georgia. It's a home game. Notre Dame, they don't even play in a conference. Who do they play this year? I don't know that Notre Dame can match up. The quarterback situation, yes, it worries me a little bit, but this is the SEC. The next man up. It's going to be fine. Georgia's got it. Done deal.
There's going to be a lot of attention around these games. But as we look at what the future could look like, real quick, if Georgia wins, they would be favored by 2.5 over Penn State, waiting for them. If Notre Dame wins, they would be favored by 1.5. So who do you think Penn State, because you're in the Northeast, wants to see? Georgia, Notre Dame?
I don't think Penn State cares, Coach. Man, they showed up last night, and I think they're getting a little disrespected here. They came to play last night. They hammered that running back all night long. He couldn't go anywhere. So I think Penn State's getting a little disrespected here. I think they could beat either one of those teams in relatively easy fashion. So I'm really confused of why they are underdogs in both of those games. If both of those teams end up playing, one of those teams end up playing Penn State, Georgia, or Notre Dame. I think they're getting disrespected.
Yeah, I think you might be right. They won both games by double figures. So we'll break down all of these semifinals tomorrow as we get an early look. Still like 10 days in between all of the games. All right, a lot of you, and I mean a lot, we've got an incredible live number right now. We're not here at the top of the show. We've got tons of picks. So we have a little section we like to call the Whiparound. AB, 4 big plays. Start us off, sir.
Yes, sir. Texas money line, Georgia over 2.5 touchdowns at plus 125. And watch Georgia's defense today. They have a blind robber that they use. It is a perfect blend of how to bring in an extra rusher and not give up space in his zone. Kirby Smart is the best in the world at it. Watch it. It's fun. We're also going to go Ohio State, Oregon. First quarter, both teams score plus 100. We're going to go Oregon second half team total over 13.5 minus 115. And then finally, Notre Dame over 2.5 touchdowns at minus 105.
I think Notre Dame's going to come to play, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Raphael, you're up.
Quick line movement. Money coming in at Texas Arizona State over. There's actually a 52.5 offshore, so no more 51.5s out there. But today, Notre Dame team total over 21.5, laying the 3 nickels. I just think Notre Dame will be able to run and pass against this Georgia defense. I put up 25 to 26 points against them. Give me the Bulls. Zach LaVine over 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists, laying the 3 nickels. His last 4 games against the Wizards, he's averaged 27 points. So he just gave me 2 rebounds and 3 assists, and we cash. And then college hoops, give me North Carolina, Louisville under 164.5 minus 110. Louisville needs to make this a half-court game, and I think they'll be able to hang around and maybe even steal this game.
Seabass, go.
Raphael, we need Zach LaVine to get a little bit more than 2 rebounds so that we hit this NBA rebound parlay today. Zach LaVine, Kyrie Irving, both 4+ rebounds for a nice plus 133 to start your New Year's off. And then in that same game, Wizards, Bulls, Bilal Coulibaly over 3.5 assists.
You bring us home.
I love Oregon. They're getting disrespected. The money line plus 115. I'm taking the under in the Ohio State-Oregon game, and I'm taking the over in the Notre Dame, Georgia over 45. Georgia's defense is not as good as it used to be.
A lot of people agree with you, Tommy. A lot of people in the chat, they like the over as well. Some housekeeping before we get out of here, and I just start to go off on Cox in about 5 minutes. AB, Howie Schwab would have called this an F day. This has been the biggest F day. But what are we playing together today?
Yep, Coach, it would have been the biggest F day. And look, going with Georgia here. -1, feeling it.
The chat likes Georgia. All right, Raphael, we always end on Rafi's stat of the day. What is yours today, sir?
I wish the viewers can listen to Coach after we're off the air, but the 76ers are 13-3 against the spread in their last 16 road games against the Sacramento Kings. I know we have someone in the chat that loves the Kings, but I apologize.
All right. One other thing. Yesterday, the whole theme of the show turned into our young Peyton, King Lettuce, having to go to the Rose Bowl parade instead of the Rose Bowl when he got the tickets. Hilarious. I would have loved to have seen that moment. Even real time, what I just got on my phone, I haven't even had a chance to listen. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
That is King Lettuce. And he just sent me a video from the parade route. And I will, if it's clean, post it on social media. But he is at the Rose Bowl parade. AB, he thought his girlfriend got him tickets to the game, and it was to the parade. What would you have done?
How much do you like this girl? That's the question. If you really like her, you eat it, and you just put a smile on your face, have a good time. If you don't, well, I wouldn't be sending you a text.
we did ask you, how serious are you? He was like, and I think it's because he was on the spot, Seabass, not because he didn't like her. I feel bad. I said after the show, I said, if you need me to call her, I will. But what would you do if you got tickets to the parade?
From my wife or from a girlfriend?
Well, it's got to be from the girlfriend. You're not going to leave the wife over this. Maybe a girlfriend,
sure?
though.
Yes, sir.
I would.
That's a great way
You
to
want me
end
to
it.
go stand outside and watch floats? I'm okay. I'm good on that.
All right, I'm going to get everybody 45 seconds of me doing this. But I tell you what, this is what it's all about. You get through, you keep it positive, and that's what DTL is all about. So now it's time for all of you, our OGs and our new viewers. We want all of you here every single day. We want you to be positive. We want you to be interactive, and then go out into the world and spread the word. So there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. That's your marching orders on this first day of 2025. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the love them all. My man Seabass, Raphael, Big Tommy C, my partner AB, and producer man always behind the scenes. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. Sometimes easier said than done. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single damn day right here at DTL. Happy New Year.